my best friends, Ashley, Ellie, and Mika. 3 women who, without them, there is no me. Their impact on me is absolutely immeasurable, and they're a major reason why friendship and the values I hold that surround it has really become a core pillar of who I am in adulthood. Another pillar of who I am? Pleasure. So be sure to stay tuned for a massive toy giveaway happening later on in this very video. Ashley and I met in the 1st grade. We ran what we called the Cow Club from underneath one of the playground structures, doing what? I don't really know. Then my family moved neighborhoods in the 3rd grade, placing me on the same bus route as Ashley, where we then sat next to each other every single morning and afternoon for the rest of our childhood. Ashley and I have known and loved each other and close to every single chapter of our lives, and that's a level of knowing someone that's really hard to articulate if you haven't lived it yourself. I literally can't remember my life before I met Ashley. In all of my memories, there she is. Then I met Ellie. Ellie was my college roommate. We met on the terrace of our college through mutual friends. Within a few weeks, we were close as can be, and within a few months, Ellie swapped into my dorm room so we could spend all of our days and nights giggling together. My first New York apartment was when I got with Ellie. So many firsts, a transformative era of my life. I became my adult self with Ellie. I actually don't even know if she knows this, but she was the first person I ever talked to about my bisexuality, my sophomore year of college. There was this immediate trust and feeling of sisterhood with her, like a when you know kind of situation. And with Ellie, I really, truly knew. And then there's Mika. Mika was one of Ashley's college friends who I met on a girls' trip in 2019 where we all invited someone, so everyone knew 1 to 2 people on the trip and the rest of the group were strangers. We stayed at a hotel in Orlando, a suite shared by 9 of us, and drank Miami Vices at the poolside bar for 7 days straight, annoying the fuck out of those bartenders. By the end of the trip, I understood completely why Ashley loved Mika so much. I loved her too. We always joke that when you're biologically a bestie, you can just sort of tell these things innately. Mine and Mika's friendship was born from a girls' trip, and being long-distance besties, it remains a pillar in the connection we share. Meeting Mika really tied everything together for me. It made sense why Ashley was drawn to her and why I was drawn to Ellie. Ashley and I knew that we had to introduce Ellie and Mika, so of course we did, and the rest is really history. And now they all live in Boston, and I live here in New York, and sometimes that distance is really hard and it fucking sucks. But despite that distance, I have never doubted or questioned my significance in their lives. Sometimes when you know, you know. And also they are fucking superb friends that prove over and over again that my intuition to believe that they are my soulmates is completely correct. I don't believe that my romantic partners are more significant in my life than my friends are. The same way I don't believe that my friends are more significant than my partners are. I think these people are hand in fucking hand. I don't think they're in competition with each other. I think they both satisfy totally different areas of intimacy that the other can't possibly know about or replace. I feel like growing up, I just witnessed a whole lot of adults that didn't have a lot of community outside of their husbands or wives. And as a child, I noticed the kind of impact that had on their relationship. Friends are important. I'm never gonna downplay their significance in my life. Like, I'm 27 years old. Let's say I meet my long-term partner at age like 35. I'm just gonna forget about the fucking people that carried me through the first 35 years before I met my partner. I'm just gonna act like life didn't exist before them. Like my whole life was just in waiting, in limbo for this one person. No, I'm just not like that. I really believe that my best friends are my life partners. The same way a future romantic love of mine will be a life partner, my best friends are also my life partners. So let's talk about why.
Do we need Sour Patches? It's so soft. Feel it.
Oh my God.
What else do we need? I think we're in good shape. Cheese for the cheese garlic bread. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Women owned.
There. sit down, Ellie?
Sorry.
I do have gifts for you guys.
Oh, come on! Maddie.
I didn't wrap them because I didn't have time to.
You! Come, what the? We come to your house and you give us gifts?
No, this is exactly what we were saying earlier.
Yeah, I'm stressed out right now. I'm stressed out. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little stressed. On Christmas. I'm stressed. Well, you know how when you're sitting down and like people are singing you happy birthday and you don't know what to do with
That's how I
yourself?
feel.
Yeah,
That's exactly how I feel right now.
Close your eyes. Are you closing them? I don't trust you.
I'm closing them.
Double close them with your eyeballs and your hands.
It's the palms of your hands, no fingers. Don't look and cheese.
Open. You can open.
So fun. Okay, hold on.
Today's video is sponsored by Bellesa, quite possibly the #1 crowd favorite, 100% guarantee to be a smash hit around the holiday season. I'm big on getting vibrators for my friends, both because they deserve it and also because I know how exciting it is to receive one, so call me Santa, why don't you? Bellesa is where I buy all of my vibrators. You actually don't even want to know how many vibrators are in my bedside table. So here are my top 3 picks. The Thump has absolute rave reviews. I actually bought this vibrator for one of my friend's birthdays earlier in the year, and she literally looked at me and was like, "You're never gonna believe this, but I quite literally bought this vibrator using your code last week." And I was like, no fucking way. I understand my friends so well. The Thump is basically the clit vibrator to end all clit vibrators. Yes, it has suction modes. Yes, it has vibration modes, but it also has thumping modes. Fits and charges in a discreet little carrying case. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous, it's perfect. Fantastic option number 1. Option number 2, my personal favorite vibrator, which is the Soft Touch Aurora. This is the one that I gravitate towards, that I will grab in my drawer of many more often than not.
What do you think about it?
Honored.
Well,
Touch it. I'm gonna let you. First of all,
Yeah, hold on.
it's soft.
It
is.
more accurately mimics the feeling of skin rather than like a cold hard vibrator. It's classic, but with a new little twist on it that just makes it 10 times better. And option number 3 is the Flutter Vibe. Flutter Vibe is a dual stimulation vibrator with G-spot and clitoral stimulation, but the Flutter Vibe tries to mimic the experience of a tongue with the little fluttering of the top piece. Gorgeous. Are you kidding? Yeah, I'd like to talk about it. And the beautiful thing about partnering with Bellesa is that this video is actually a giveaway. We're giving away free vibrators and gift cards towards your next purchase at Bellesa. All you have to do is insert your email at the link in the description down below. Check your email within a few minutes and boom, you're either getting a free vibrator or major money off your next purchase at Bellesa. Huge, and you better be taking advantage of it this holiday season. Black Friday deals are gonna go bananas, and I want you guys to get the best deals you possibly can on all the vibrators you could possibly want this holiday season. If you're looking to be the best gift giver out of all your friends, this is the only gift guide you need to listen to. A vibrator. Your friends want vibrators. I think I'm someone who really values history and commitment in my friendships. Like whenever I hear someone say we were girls together, that really fucking hits with me. That plays exactly to where my heart sits in my friendship. Like, yeah, we were little fucking girls together. You have known me in so many different eras and seasons of my life. Back when I was just a little tiny baby, right? I had no idea what I wanted or who I was, how I would feel, who I would be at this stage in my life. Yet there we were, discovering ourselves together, discovering who we were to each other, weathering the storms and changes of life together. Like that is just special. It is undeniably special. I don't know if I really buy into this, but you know how they always say that like if you're friends with someone for 7 years, that means you'll be friends with them forever. And the reason why they say that is they believe that, you know, within a cycle of 7 years, you'll be able to experience enough of like high highs and low lows with another person, navigate those moments together to be able to really figure out how compatible you are, and also to be able to grow through those moments, strengthen your friendship together with that person. And again, I don't really know how much I truly believe in the exactness of the number 7 there, But I like what they're getting at, which is just really that having history with someone, getting to really grow through several phases and seasons and eras of life with someone really informs that relationship and is just like another level of intimacy that you develop over time. Because yeah, it's definitely easier to be friends with people when you live in the same town, when you go to the same college, when you have similar hobbies, similar friend groups, similar jobs. It's easier within those contexts and circumstances. Without those things, when you pull those things away, like what's left of the friendship? Can you weather those kinds of changes together? And there's so many things that contribute to like making a friendship easier versus more difficult. And also, I don't think that just because a friendship is in a season of difficulty, it means that you shouldn't remain friends. Like obviously there's tons of things that contribute to which seasons of friendship maybe feel more fruitful than others. But I think the challenge there is really finding people that you can move through those seasons with. That yeah, you can have the high highs with, you can be so totally intertwined with them, seeing them every day, going to class together, work together, whatever it is, but then you're also able to weather the off seasons with each other as well. Someone moves away, someone gets a really demanding job, maybe one of your friends enters a relationship and sort of falls off the face of the planet, maybe one of your friends has fucking kids and their priorities totally shift and your friendship sort of has to evolve and take notice and move with each other through those places. We were girls together. We were tiny itty bitty babies together. And I also mean that about my 21-year-old self. I met Ashley when I was 7. I met Ellie when I was 18. I met Mika when I was 21. These are like 3 stages of life in which I was a baby in each one. My friends have so much history and context and understanding from going through all of those seasons of life with me. They have an understanding of me that my future partner won't ever have. And yeah, my future partner will also have understanding of me that my friends don't have. But my point there is really just to say that one isn't ever going to be more valuable to me than the other. My best friends will never be in competition with my partner. Ever. Y'all are sitting right next to each other, all right? You're hand in hand. You are teammates. We are all right here, fucking linked arms forever and ever. You're with me, you're also with my besties. I just feel very critical towards the idea that your partner has to be in this number one position that nobody else is allowed to be in. Like, yeah, they will be in my number one position, and my best friends are gonna be there too, because they're currently in the number one position and they've been in the number one position my whole entire life. I don't feel that I connect to the idea that the partner is the end all be all and then everyone else just sort of falls to the wayside. I just don't connect to that idea. And I think there have been seasons of my life where I have felt bad that I didn't connect to that idea because it feels like such a default in our society to value the romantic so much more than the platonic. But I think now, at my grown age, I've accepted that I'm just not like that and that I don't see the world that way and that I don't have to see the world that way.
Thank God. You manifested that, guys.
No, I think that you'd be annoying and you're literally just working. Thank you. Thank you for doing your job so well.
Like, I feel like every time I'm with people and I start to be like, they're like, oh, so you are cold. I'm like, yes,
of course I
that's the
experience
fucking
cold.
point. Yeah,
I
that's
like
the
it.
point. I enjoy it.
Yeah, you're happy right now.
I think the concept of being a girl's girl has sort of been beaten to shit at this point and sort of muddled the waters. And half the people that use the term girl's girl, I actually don't believe that they understand what they're saying. But trust me, I know the true definition. I don't know, maybe your definition of girl's girl is different than mine and that's whatever. And I understand this whole thing's been sort of beat to shit to the point where it's undistinguishable anymore. I get it. And also, I'm about to tell you what I think it is. But I feel like there was some point in my life where I looked around and realized that not everyone cared about friendship in the same way that I did. You know, throughout your life, you bear witness to how other people treat their friends. Like, just remembering the first time I watched someone abandon their drunk friend at a bar, coming across a drunk girl that had no idea where any of her people were, witnessing girls get sick at the fucking bar, at the fucking club, and having their friends look at them and be like, Pony up, big girl. Get back on the floor. We gotta keep dancing. Meanwhile, she's like falling the fuck over and they won't take her home. Like, in college, I just feel like I learned fairly quickly that there are some people out there that just do not have those core friendship values. They just fucking don't. The type of people that would choose flirting with some random fucking guy in a bar over taking their belligerent and dangerously drunk friend fucking home because she's sick. Like, the people that just have their priorities all out of fucking whack. There comes a time in your life where you look around and you realize, oh shit, not everybody gives a shit about being a good friend in the way that I do. I think being a good friend became like a core part of my identity when I was a little fucking girl. Now, that's not to say that I'm always a perfect person by any means, but it's a value of mine in that I'm always striving to be a good friend to people. I think sometimes I feel like being a girl's girl or being able to pick out a girl's girl in a crowd is like, it's more of a gut feeling. Like, again, I know I'm hitting you with a lot of when you know you knows, but like, yeah, you kind of do know when you know. But I think the concept of being a girl's girl is kind of hard to define because it's not just one thing. Like, it's not just the type of girl that's gonna tell you that your mascara is smeared or you've got a fucking popcorn kernels stuck in your teeth. It can be people like that, but it's also completely different people. To me, it's women that have decentered men. It's women that have being a good friend positioned strongly as a core value of theirs. To me, it's people that are committed to understanding their friends, of defending their friends. Really just people who give a shit. I don't know, it feels like it should be easy to be a girl's girl. I guess I always thought that it was growing up because I got very fucking lucky with my childhood best friends. I really, truly did. And I'm reminded of that so often now as an adult. One of my childhood best friends got married a few months ago and we did her bachelorette earlier in the summer. And getting to spend time with more of my childhood best friends, those were the friends that we like grew up in the same neighborhood and all ran to each other's houses growing up. Like, getting to spend more time with them and reconnect over the summer, celebrating one of our friends falling in love. Like, it was just such a reminder to me of how lucky I got. I got several strokes of luck as a child when it came to building community in my hometown. I fucking hated that place. And all of my besties fucking rock. So how did that work out? I don't fucking know. But I think when I was younger, I really thought that was the default. I thought that's how people treated their friends. I thought that's how most people were. And then I got older and I went to college and I saw other people treat their friends in ways that I was like, you did what? You did fucking what? Your friend threw up at the bar and you forced her to sit there while you flirted with some fuck-ass man? Take her home. Oh my fucking God. And it does perturb me and trouble me that people like that exist, but they do. They surely do. And I think that's why, to me, being a girl's girl is more of like a feeling that you get when you're around someone, how much you feel you trust them, how much you feel you can rely on them if, you know, something terrible like that happened. If you got sick at a bar and were throwing up all over the place, would your friends force you to sit there while they flirted with some men, or would they take you home and tuck you into bed and set a glass of water on your nightstand and fucking give you a smooch on the forehead and say, we'll talk about this tomorrow. I love you so much. Sweet dreams, my little princess. Like, would your friends take care of you in the moments where you need them most? Do you trust them to show up? Do you trust them to both call you out and offer you understanding? Do you trust them to do it with as much grace as they humanly possibly can? And I hope that if you do have friends that would abandon you at a fucking bar for some fuck-ass man, that this is your sign to cut him off, okay? Because yeah, it's important to be a good friend to others, but it's also important to be a good friend to yourself. And yeah, every situation is different, and I don't know every situation that every person watching this video might be bringing to the table, okay? Nuance exists. We're gonna assess every situation differently. What I'm saying right now might not apply to you and your situation. However, there are gonna be moments in this life where you need to prioritize being a good friend to yourself first. And that could mean a lot of things. Do with that what you will. When the besties are in town, it calls for a delicious dinner and a show, baby. So I took my friends to Noan in Bushwick, where we indulged in an 8-course meal of Korean-American goodness before heading next door to see Cocktail Magique, a show by Company XIV.
What is going on? What is going on? Got her eyebrow I don't want your head to hurt. That is so funny.
I mentioned earlier that we like to joke about being biologically a bestie, but it's also not really a joke. At all, actually. I feel like friendship has been a core value of mine for as long as I can remember. Friendship and companionship are things that I was raised to value to the highest degree. And like I said, maybe it was partially witnessing adults in my life growing up that didn't really have strong communities outside of their wives and husbands. Maybe that really drilled in the importance to me, or maybe it really was just the magic of knowing Ashley fucking Olafson. Regardless, sometimes it really does feel like at some point long ago, beyond when I can remember, I took a bestie pledge of some sort, knowingly committing myself to showing up as a friend in every season, of accepting the ebbs and flows of friendship, of understanding my friends and knowing them as deeply as they'll let me. And maybe that's just it. The same way we commit to lovers is the way we commit to friends. Though maybe it's quieter, happening silently and slowly throughout the duration of your friendship until one day you realize you can't possibly picture your life without them. You just realize that you're there, that the bestie pledge was signed by all parties at some point. You never had to make things official, it just sort of became that way. But really, it's no coincidence when you're surrounded by people who are as wonderful and committed to showing up as you are.
Girl, it's nighttime, girl. Time for getting all the way down with your eyes closed, so deep in REM sleep, girl. Sleep is so exactly what we need after a day of hanging with besties and friends and getting all the way up and sparkling sun and loving the outdoors and living for a little show. That is so true, girl. I love that you brought up the little show that we did go see with our own 2 eyeballs, girl. And tomorrow we rise to the occasion to learn a magic trick. He's slightly down. Just like, please, like I literally can't. This is the only part of my routine that sometimes I'm like, let me do it like a boy would. I think about that all the time. Boy hours.
I talked about this on the podcast a little bit, but a few months ago, I don't know what this was, but one day it just came over me that I needed to message these 3 women and affirm to them directly, tell them without any confusion that I want to be a part of every era of their lives and that I'm so excited to be aunts to the children they may or may not have someday. I think about other people having kids a lot because I think about myself having kids a lot and how I don't think that that's something that I want to do. I've talked about this a lot on my podcast. It's a conversation that needs an hour to fully dive into, so just go listen to Emotionally Online. Plug, hello. But a few months ago, I got out of my dance class and I was just feeling all lovey-dovey on my friends, and I was like, I need to affirm to them right now that I want to be a part of every era of their lives, and I wanted to affirm to them that I was even excited for the eras of our friendship where we were in completely different places and I was not even close to being the top of the priority list. I am excited for eras where we have next to nothing in common, just as much as the ones where we have so much in common. Like, yeah, it's fucking awesome to be in my 20s with my friends and getting to travel together, do our little fucking girls trips, whether we're going to Orlando, to Italy, to the Finger Lakes. I don't care where it is. I could have fun with these people inside of a fucking paper bag. But it's important to me that they know that, like, yeah, I'm excited to be their friend right now when we're young and have so much in common. But I'm also excited to be their friend when we're a little bit older and in totally different places, when we're making totally different choices for what we want in our own lives. Do I see myself having kids? Probably not. Never say never, but probably not. But does that mean I'm not the literal most excited person ever for when my friends and siblings have kids? Like, no, of course not. I want to be so goddamn present. You put that kid on the phone when you've had enough of them. You send them on over to Auntie Maddie, and I'll tell them what's up. I actually think I'm going to be such a good aunt. It's going to be fucking diabolical. Someday, my future nieces and nephews are going to watch this video back and be like, damn, she's talking about me. Oh my God. But I'm like, I need my friends to know that like my commitment to them, my love of them goes so far beyond what is convenient to me, right? I understand that there's going to be eras of our life where maybe the most we're able to talk in a week is like me being on FaceTime while they read their kids a fucking bedtime story. And I want them to know that I'm excited for those moments as well, and that I won't judge them or hold them to standards that they won't be able to reach, that I am eager for the eras of our friendship where I get to show up for them, where I get to be the one that puts in the bulk of the effort, where I get to be the one to make them feel loved up on and seen and understood and heard, and I don't need them to give me 100% at all times. So much of friendship is give and take. You know what I mean? Like yeah, sometimes friendship is 50-50, but then sometimes it's 70-30. Sometimes it's 80-20. And I just want my besties to know that even in the eras where it's not so 50-50, that I'm excited for those periods as well. And that I'm committed to understanding and re-understanding, relearning, recommitting to each other and each of those seasons of life. And really, when you think about it, all of what I just said really mirrors the commitments you make to a partner in a long-term romantic relationship as well. And I think that with relationships, we talk about the commitment part more openly because it is more directly established. But I think that commitment also happens in these long-term friendships. The same way I commit to a partner is the way I commit to my friends. Intimacy requires effort. It also requires making the ask. Something I really love is the idea that we need to be asking our friends for favors in order to increase intimacy. It's a part of leaning on each other that can feel difficult or burdensome, but it's actually one of the best ways to let your people know their importance in your life and open up a door for even more trust and companionship. For example, asking someone to pick you up from the airport or cat sit while you're away on vacation. You might feel guilty asking your friend to help you out or like it's a severe inconvenience, but I'd actually push you to reframe that in your head a little bit, because I think that favors and kind gestures and opportunities to lean on each other are invitations for intimacy that can open the door for them to lean on you more as well. Balance is essential in everything, and intimacy requires reciprocity in the long term, but please ask your friends for help with small favors. So often we put ourselves out there while giving the other person the reins. Like we tell someone they can call us if they want someone to talk to, if they need someone, which is a great thing for the record, but I think sometimes we're too nervous to take them up on the offer. But what if we started taking them up on it? What if we started asking them for support when they didn't offer it? What if we were vulnerable enough to make the ask and see what making that ask can do for the intimacy of the friendship as a whole? I really think that most people would be surprised how much these small inconveniences are actually major moments of connection within friendship that take you from one level of knowing each other to the next. When you have friends as special as these three, it's hard not to be in constant reflection of how you got here and how you got so lucky. I just truly hope that everyone gets to know friends like these in their lifetime, and I really think that with a little leap of faith and vulnerability that you can. And you know, I'm really not even here to convince you to see friendship the same way that I do. I think it's fine if we see it differently, if we value different things in different relationships. That is totally cool with me. But really, I'm just here to point out that in my personal experience and my humble opinion, I think that friendship, true, long-term, committed friendship, can hold more weight than society paints it out to hold. And that I think your romantic relationships benefit when you nourish your platonic friendships. I believe that should be more of a priority to people. And I just think that there are people that are missing out on so much of the intimacy and depth that this life has to offer by convincing themselves that they only have room for a romantic partner in their top spot. I'm just here to challenge that. You can still disagree with me, but this is my experience, my perspective on my YouTube channel. My friends are my everything. These women have inspired me and changed me and continue to push me into being my best self every single day of my fucking life. They have truly impacted me in inconceivable ways. They're like sisters to me. They are my goddamn life partners, and I wouldn't change a thing. So Ashley, Mika, Ellie, I love you guys so much. It literally hurts. I'm so mad that we can't share a bottle of wine on my couch literally fucking tonight. I hope this video is just a reminder to reach out to the people in your life that you love, maybe your besties, your siblings, your parents, your partner, whoever it is, go tell them that you love them today. And if you're watching this video and you feel like you haven't quite found your people yet, just know that that's okay too. I believe friendship is in constant abundance. Yeah, I've known Ashley since before I can fucking remember anything different, but I met Mika in 2019. Some of my best friends in New York I met in the last couple years. I met Robbie last fucking year. Now he's one of my best friends. You just never know who could be right around the corner, what kinds of connections you're going to come across in your life. I believe that if you move through the world with an open heart, vulnerable as hell, put yourself out there, take a bestie pledge within yourself, you'll attract the right people eventually. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video.